following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
Let's go, baby!
Are you ready for a break?
Yes.
Are you ready for a break?
Absolutely.
Ready for a break?
Yeah, and so much for that.
It's time for The Break on DallasCowboys.com.
We were on the break!
With Ambar Garcia, Bryan Broaddus, Voch Lombardi, and Derek Eagleton.
It is Friday, October 31st, 2025, season 21, episode number 70. Welcome to a very special holiday edition, Halloween edition of The Break. You didn't know it was Halloween? Is that why you looked at me like that?
I don't have a churn. Go ahead.
It's a very special Halloween edition of The Break. We are live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star, presented by LG. LG is the world's #1 OLED TV brand for 11 years and counting. See why at lg.com/OLED Evo.
That's why they dressed up on TV, because it's Halloween. Okay,
yeah.
I ain't know.
Yeah, man.
We know now.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm dressed up as a mob boss or something. I knew. Yeah, I got the memo. Yeah.
All right. We got a lot we're going to talk about today. It's a Friday. We don't have Ambar Garcia in with us today. We normally do a little Yeti time, but we'll still do some Yeti time. I have some fun little game for you guys. We'll do a little bit of Would You Rather on today's episode of The Break during our Yeti time. Before we get there, though, I did want to talk about a couple of injuries from the injury report yesterday. Jack Sanborn did not participate. Donovan Wilson did not participate. Both of them still battling injuries that have kept them out of previous games. Groin for Sanborn and elbow and shoulder for Wilson. What are we hearing about those two players?
Yeah, I think they're both guys that are going to be very probably questionable for this weekend when it comes to the game. The groin injury is never easy to deal with. You know, Sanborn was dealing with the concussion, so they're trying to kind of make sure that that's something that he's completely healthy with. The shoulder injury and the elbow injury for Wilson were pretty significant, and so the fact that he did not practice all last week and then did not play, of course, and then this week he's starting off as being on that list. I have a feeling they're going to allow him probably to miss again this week, and then you get into the bye week and give him another, and then so the next time that we likely will see him potentially is against the Raiders on Monday Night Football here in a couple of weeks.
I think that's the interesting part for all the guys that are injured right now. The Cowboys is. You kind of look at it and say, if you can manage to get by this week without them, then the preference would be to get by without them, because it does give you the benefit of then them having basically 3 weeks to be able to sit, rest, rehab, do whatever they need to do so they're ready to come back for the second half of the season. Limited participant was Wanye Thomas, another safety. What are we hearing about those migraines?
Yeah, that's something that they're just trying to kind of deal with right now. It's they've for him, it's one of those, it's come and gone, but they've got to be very mindful. We talked about that, when you're starting to talk about something to do with your head, and then, you got to get that completely cleared up. You cannot be, you cannot have vision problems. You cannot have any type of pain or anything like that. So how he feels is how they're going to be able to practice him.
On the good note, Cooper Beebe with his ankle was a full participant yesterday. Do we think he's now? I know last week it felt to me, and I'll just speak for myself, it felt to me like everything we were hearing suggested he was on his way back and ready for last week's game. Do you think it's the same this week, and do you think it actually ends up meaning they will put him out there and have him play this week?
I think they're going to play him this week. Last week, and I think they would have played him last week. I think this was we talked about it. I was hearing some conversations that it was a coach's decision why they chose not to play him. So I think with him being a full participant, I don't anticipate him not playing this week against Arizona.
Right. Well, that's going to be a good thing, Bryan Brush.
Absolutely.
They have some bigger guys in the middle. We talked about, Campbell and some of those guys. They got some heavy dudes in the middle.
Yeah.
And I'm finally ready to have my run game advantage back, or my size and my power advantage back. So if BB can indeed go, and look, I would have loved to have him last week, but maybe I feel a little better now that if they felt like he couldn't go last week, and maybe he's 110% healthy now, and they would get zero setbacks. We've even seen that with Booker or even Big Tyler that coming back from injuries. Like maybe there's a small little step back or like an acclimation period. Hopefully the BB situation is not as deep as they.
Yeah, he was initially, it was a 6 to 8 week injury, and then he was looking to get back in 6 weeks, and so they probably were in a situation where There's maybe the medical staff felt like, yeah, he's okay if you want to use him, and the coaches said, no, let's just go for this 1 week. We'll give him one more week. And man, after looking at Denver's inside three, that was a big point of emphasis that we made last week on our shows was how important was it going to be to win the inside game? And clearly Dallas didn't win the inside game. And it wasn't just because of BB. It was because Booker didn't play his best, and also we didn't see Tyler Smith have one of his better games. But that's what Denver's front will do to you. I felt like overall the tackles, especially with Guyton, held up. But yeah, having BB back, I think, will make a big difference against this crew.
To that point, it was interesting this morning. I heard Coach Schottenheimer on with Sean and RJ on the Fan, and one of the things he said he's like, we've been stressing the fact that you got to win the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. And he said if you look at the games that the Cowboys have lost this season, they lost up front on both sides of the ball. And I think you can say that about Carolina. I think you can say that about Denver. I don't know as much about Philly. I mean, Philly was just kind of one of those weird kind of back and forth games. I don't know if they got completely dominated up front. But in those two games particularly, I do feel like they got just dominated up front. And you could tell when they can't win the line of scrimmage, it's going to be a long day for them.
Yeah, absolutely. That and really on both sides of the ball, that was a big problem, defensively. When you look at overall though, I think the Philadelphia game too, with them losing one of their best defensive tackles, I think clearly helped the situation there. But overall though, they've had some games this year where they have just not been able to get things going, and hopefully they'll have everybody back this week. I think that we need to anticipate.
Yeah, and the biggest thing I just want to keep on harping on is that even when your offensive line isn't all that great in the passing game, Dak covers up a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
We
sure
just
does.
talking about we just talking about trenches. There's not really anybody on defense that can cover up how bad they're playing. But at least on offense, if you run into a team where there's some issues, and there's some pretty good rushers coming up this week, Bryan, Dak just knows how to deal with those guys and neutralize them. So I'm very, very much grateful to have 4 playing.
Let me ask you this question. You just brought up something that was interesting to me. You said on defense, they don't have anybody that can really cover that up when you're not playing well up front on defense. Do you think a really talented linebacker can cover some of the deficiencies of the defensive tackles if they're not getting off blocks or if they're getting moved out of holes?
I think the better your linebacker is, maybe the less he relies on the guys up front. But I think the guys up front are the ones that cover up for everybody else behind them. So if they're playing bad and you're not just flat out special, there have been some times where San Francisco hadn't been, they haven't been perfect. But Fred is a guy that knows how to navigate but not run himself out of a play or not to overrun a play, or he could just stack and share guys. So Fred is a guy that can overcome it, but boy, how many guys are there like him?
You got to be special.
Fred, Kuechly, Sean Lee is a very short list of those guys. So for the most part, it can be true, but I don't think it's very common in the league. As opposed to the other side, it's very common. Like if you got bad linebackers, man, Denver has some linebackers I never heard of in my life. But, boy, they got some D linemen that just kept it clean for them. And those guys were able to be aggressive. They can run sideline to sideline. They had no worries in the world. Please, Bryan.
Voch, Derek, this morning, Voch and I did a show. We took fan questions and stuff. And one of the questions were to rank and give priority if you could make a trade by position. If you could make a trade defensively by position, do you make a trade for and rank them in order of how they would be priorities to you?
Yeah.
Edges, defensive tackles, linebacker, or safety.
Yeah.
How would you rank those in order for you in importance of if you could make a trade in those positions and rank them in what order you have them?
For me, and I've been consistent about this, I think your biggest problem right now is your linebacker position. So I would go linebacker first. I'd go edge second. I would go defensive tackle third. And I would go safety fourth. And the only reason I'm putting safety last is just because I've seen defenses that have very, very average safeties be good defenses because everything else was working, right? And so for me, I just think, that's the play position where you can get by more. I think right now, linebacker and getting pressure on the quarterback, those are the two areas where I feel like they are really struggling. And I'll say this, even with that being said, I wouldn't be shocked if when all this is said and done, trade deadline comes by and the Cowboys make a move, that they'd go out and get a defensive tackle. I don't necessarily think it would hurt them if they got a really good one. So I think, any of them, you can use any of those positions. I just would prefer give me a linebacker, then give me an edge, then I'll go defensive tackle, then I'll go safety.
See, what's interesting is that when we talked about this, Bryan, both of us said linebacker first.
Right.
So we're all in agreement.
Really? I was kind of shocked to hear that.
Yeah, we're all linebacker first, but we all disagree on the second. Bryan would go safety second.
Okay.
I would go one tech second. You said you would go edge?
Yeah.
So we're all different there. But
Why wouldn't you guys go edge second?
Because to me, if you look at this defense, you have two players. I feel like you have no safety play right now.
Okay.
And I feel like that you have Donovan Ezaraco and you have Houston. You have two guys. I have nothing at the safety position, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Sure.
In my
Is that once you're healthy, or just in general? It doesn't matter if you're healthy or not.
Hooker and Wilson don't really fit.
Me personally, I feel like though with edge, that I have two guys. I have a guy on the come, I believe, with Donovan Ezaraco.
Sure.
And I feel like that if you use Houston, and we'll see with Clowney. Clowney's been a little up and down.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like if I had to say, where do I at least have guys? I just don't feel like I have anybody at safety. But I do feel like I have a couple of guys at edge.
Yeah, I chose tackle because I feel like if you could be great on the inside, I think like that's the fastest way to get to the passer, and like that dude to be better in the run game as well. Shouts out to Osa, man. Osa got his money and he's done his thing throughout his career or whatever. But I think if you can get like a dominant type, like a dominant dude, I think they'll sit Osa down in that case, because just like that guy would be so much better. I also think why I didn't pick safety. I think safety is a bit of a luxury when everything else is horrible around you. Like there's no way I would pick safety over linebacker, edge, or a tackle, because I think, man, you can have a fantastic safety, but he'll just be sitting back there all day just cleaning up tackles while everybody up front's getting whooped. So it was really just an order of operation for me. Bryan's not wrong though, because even if you're totally healthy at safety, I don't think safety's all that great and it's stopping you from drafting somebody when we get to draft season or just getting help elsewhere. But I just look at safety like I look at tight end. Like all the great teams got great tight ends, but it's a bit of a luxury if your line and your quarterback and your wide receivers are bad. I kind of view safety like that.
Okay, so that brings up an interesting thought. I'll go down this path with you guys. If you take the best player in the NFL, whoever that is in your mind,
Okay,
at each of those positions, and you put them on this Dallas defense, which one makes a greater impact on this defense?
Since we're not trading, can I say a name since we ain't talking trading?
We're just saying, if you say, well, we all agree, let's say we all agree,
Sure.
Myles Garrett is the best defensive end in the NFL. If you put him on this defense, does it make a difference?
So we got Myles Garrett, Fred Warner, I say Kirby
Fred's
Joseph.
hurt, but yeah, we could.
Sure. Just the idea of him.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Simmons, Fred Warner, Kirby Joseph, and Myles Garrett.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Fred Warner impacts everything the most. I think if he was here, big impact. You said then tackle. If they were here on the Cowboys, of course linebacker. But at tackle, yeah, a guy like Quinnen Williams or Jeffrey Simmons, that was kind of where I was going early. Yeah, somebody got to sit down, and I feel confident sitting Osa down. And if for Jeffrey Simmons, please, I don't care about money at all. At that point, you just got three rich.
But the impact, what I'm saying is, do you think the impact,
immediate,
the defense changes?
Jeffrey Simmons eats double teams for breakfast. Shouts out to Osa, but he like 290 or something. He's a swole 290. Jeffrey Simmons is a true 300 and something.
Yeah.
And explosive.
Yeah.
And he eats double teams for breakfast. Immediately, he makes it in pass rush, pushing the pocket, and in run defense. So 100% if he was here. Bryan?
Yeah, I think to me that if you look at just the guys that I've watched here, and I really, really like Quinnen Williams, just as a name. But if you to watch Simmons, the violence that he plays with, I think makes him a guy that a lot of teams would absolutely love to have. The reason I said safety second, though, because I think guys like Brian Branch make a difference. I think of Brian Branch at Detroit as a guy that comes in and all of a sudden you got a tackler, you got a blitzer. There was an era one time when I was in pro personnel. It was the era of Ed Reed. It was Troy Polamalu. Yeah, you're not going to trade for one of those guys. But that's where safety play can make a difference. I mean, and Brian Branch, to me, even Xavier McKinney a little bit at Green Bay, these guys make a little bit of a difference back there when it comes to playing and changing games.
And just to make it clear, that was not saying that we were trading.
We ain't
for
trading.
No,
that was just saying the best player in the
players,
league, how much do they impact the defense where you think there's so many problems? And I think that's the point I wanted to get back to is I really believe if you take the best player at every position, I think linebacker is the one that you look at this defense and you say, you give me an impact linebacker. I mean, like a real impact linebacker. I think it can make a huge difference for this defense.
And if you kind of look at like Fred is the guy that's been like winning the most out of all those guys. Like Miles is fantastic. He ain't really winning games like that. And you can say the same about Simmons.
It might say something about the position too. Like I'm kind of starting.
Whole, yeah.
I've come around on that part of it a little bit. Yeah. Go ahead.
And safety, the best teams got safeties, but I still just think it's a luxury. That's like having a Rolex in a broke down apartment for me. You know what I'm saying? You got fantastic Kirby Joseph, but everything's weird up front. At least the Lions can say our D-line good, our linebackers good. We got corners, we got a free and a strong.
Yeah.
So that kind of goes together like that. But we'll take a break and come back and talk about it.
All right, let's take our first break. When we come back, we'll do a little Yeti time without AG. We'll be back. DallasCowboys.com radio.
How's it going? You see that Cowboys game?
Oh, I watched. Been seeing some good things.
Totally. They have some talent.
Yup, some great talent.
And they got some fight.
Hoping this is the year.
Me too. Oh, I'm Cody, by the way.
I'm Travis.
Nice to meet you, Travis. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys!
Make a new friend based solely on their shirt choice. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a pepper thing.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
I'm home. Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you...
Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow.
Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
Back to the break.
Okay, here we go. Let's choose perfection. Choose LG OLED Evo. Check out the best TV in the game at LG.com.
Welcome back. We are in the second segment of the break live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star, presented by LG. This segment is brought to you by Yeti. It's a Yeti segment. Yeah. It's Yeti time. Without AG. AG is not here today, but I did come up with some questions. I went and started kind of coming up with some questions. We're going to play a little game of Would You Rather. And I'm going to start off with some easy questions that are just kind of fun about you, and then we'll get into some more Cowboys-related questions. Let's start first. This one will be interesting from Mr. Broaddus.
Oh.
Would you rather barbecue or boiled seafood?
I'm into boiled seafood all day. I really, I've found myself not watching TV anymore. When I'm not watching tape, I'm watching YouTube videos, and I'm fascinated by the guys and gals that can barbecue, but I love the fact of how people do seafood stuff, steam, boil, whatever they do. So I'm more likely at a party, if you invite me, I'm likely to cook seafood for you than I am barbecue.
All right.
That is fire. I just want to say people in the chat say that they're leaving because Ambar's not here, so I think that's interesting. But
they love Ambar. It's fair. It's fair.
It's absolutely.
We'll see y'all
fair.
Monday.
It's absolutely.
It's all right. It's fair.
Actually, Tuesday. We'll see you Tuesday.
Tuesday, right?
But Bryan, it's so fascinating. You're a Dallas man, but you like a Louisiana man because that's a Louisiana answer. They always go boiled.
Well, it's funny. My family, my uncle is Sonny Bryan's in Dallas. If you know, a barbecue. It's been around since the late 40s. Yeah. So yeah, it's my family's been all about barbecue, but yeah, I love anything to do with seafood. How to cook seafood.
Well, I'm from Mississippi, and we cook possums and raccoons over open fire all the time. So of course it'll be even better to put quality meats on there. I got some oxtail on my smoker right now that I'm actually navigating from my phone.
Oxtails are good.
Oxtails are expensive now. And
oxtails
are not cheap.
That ain't cheap meat.
Not cheap.
Expensive.
Yeah,
but I am barbecue guy all day, every day. I do like both because I also fish and I can get down on the seafood. But if I had to pick, I'm cutting on some fire and I'm cooking something over it.
I'm right there with you. I like boil. I love a good crawfish boil. But man, it's nothing like the pit. And
it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work eating seafood too.
It is. It is. It's work. But
I'll tell you what, man. When you could do like crab legs nowadays, the way with snow crab legs and stuff, you could put those that seafood and stuff like that on smokers.
Yeah,
Bryan's a rich man.
I will put salmon on a smoker and do some good stuff. But no, I like the best when I'm sitting out with my fellas and we just this is back to college where we put stuff on the grill and literally you eating it off the grill. Like it's ready, you grab it, you eat it right there. Like that's nothing like that. Some good cold beer, man. That's a good Saturday afternoon.
I've been thinking about this. I haven't told Derek this, but we're gonna have a party at his house one day and watch college football one day. I haven't told him yet.
You might want to talk to Mrs. Eagleton. I'm just gonna say you might want to talk to Mrs.
Yesterday I can come by whenever I want to, so I'm gonna cook some food and load it up in the F-150. And right before I get there, I'm gonna call Derek, like, hey, can I come through?
Like I said, you might want to check in with Miss. Look, I might not have a problem with it, but if you get that look from Mrs. Eagleton, you don't want to get it a second time. Like I'm just saying,
she's loyal too, so she know.
You might want to check in with her and just make sure she's good on that day, whenever that day is gonna be. All right.
I'm going to Bryan's house.
Here we go. All right. In the spirit of Halloween, candy corn or jelly beans?
Both trash, really.
Hot take.
I'll tell you what, I agree with him. I think candy corn. Let me tell you, I'm gonna throw another one in there. If you hand me one of those candies that's in an orange or black wrapper without any name on it, we might fight.
Like we might have like the honey taste.
Yeah, one of them.
We might fight, and there might be a chance that as I walk from the 1970s. With my plastic mask, it had a little air hole in it that I couldn't see, and my costume got ripped because I was running and stuff. I might take those candies and throw them back at you as I get to the curb. I might just spin and just throw them, launch them back to the front porch.
Somebody in the hood chasing you and whooping your ass.
I'm gonna tell you this.
I'm just telling you, man. Those candies are trash.
We were some bad kids. And when I was growing up, when the hood. Halloween meant we had a basket that we put our candy in.
Yeah.
We also had a basket we were carrying eggs in. Yeah. And if we had a house that was not hospitable, or if it just happened to be a car passing by that we didn't really love the person driving it, they might get a barrage of eggs.
Like we're at Philly,
like we're
coming off I-95 with the team bus.
One year, me and my cousin Al, we were doing crazy stuff. We out there just egging folks, and the cops showed up.
Yeah.
We booking it, trying to get away.
Yeah,
hiding under cars.
I get caught.
I'm like 9, 10 years old. Like we were bad, man.
I think I bring something out of Derek. He gonna come on here and tell us he robbed the bank one day.
I will not.
And we just gonna be befuddled.
I will not. But I do have a past. Let's just put it like that. Like we all were young and dumb at some point.
Hey, listen. Let's be honest though. Like if you're, the candy, you got to think about these things, folks. You can't just like randomly, like another thing, you're throwing out like Twizzlers, like that licorice stuff. Man, there's no thought to that.
Yeah.
I had a lady.
Candy and full-size candies if you can do it.
Be a good candy person.
Yeah.
I had a lady that gave us bottles of apple cider.
She trying to help you with weight loss.
What the?
For cheering. Shouts out to Miss Bucklew. She put some doggone apple cider. Oh, we made this apple cider and we love it. Here, take some. I'm like, did you trying to start a business? It's Halloween.
What would you guys do in this day and age if you were trick or treating and they handed you the caramel apple?
That's hard.
I like caramel apples. Even as a kid. When I was a kid, I loved caramel apples.
See, there's kids. I don't think kids appreciate the caramel apples.
Kids nowadays,
they don't appreciate. But
that's
caramel apples.
I grew up in an era where
they were worried about razor blades.
The church lady would have some caramel apples out in her car after church, or she'd have some popcorn balls. Y'all know what popcorn balls are, right? So like kids these days, they don't know nothing about that. So it's just different.
See, that's the thing about it. If somebody was taking the opportunity to bake something, I'm always was like, yeah, cool, let's try it, or make the caramel apples. But like I say, there's a lot of them though. How do you guys feel about mounds? The mounds, little candies with the coconut and the coconut, the nut, and the chocolate.
I'm throwing them back at somebody's house. I don't want nothing that got no doggone coconut.
I'm just not a big chocolate person, so that probably would miss me just because I'm not chocolate. I'm not a big chocolate person.
No to mounds. Yeah. Well, go ahead.
All right, here we go. Here's our next question. We're gonna move into some Cowboys thoughts.
Yeah.
Would you rather spend an all expense paid, all access week with Jerry Jones or with Shotty?
I don't want to spend no time with none of them. What you mean?
You get to hang out for a week with them. You go everywhere they go. You get to hear all the conversations they have, the whole nine.
Well, Jerry Jones is a much richer man.
But you got all expense paid.
So we might end up in some other country.
Fair.
Shotty seemed like me and him listen to the same music. Mm-hmm. So I don't tell.
So you might end up at a great concert.
I don't tell where that's gonna go. Jerry Jones has paid for my dinner before. And it was exceptional. So we can do that. And because look, I get the same vibes when I'm with Bryan. Like Bryan knows everybody.
He does.
So by me kicking it with Bryan, somebody talking to him, I just get to meet, you scouted for the Cowboys. Shouts out to you, play. You in charge of what? You know what I mean? Yeah. I bet Jerry got some millionaire friends I would love to shake.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Jay-Z or something.
Yeah.
So Jerry.
All right.
Give me Jerry all day.
Yeah. You're going to have stories.
Give me Jerry all day because you're probably going to I have a story real quick about Jerry and my old boss, Larry Lacewell. Larry, God bless him for the rest of his soul. But Lace one time calls me. We're at Valley Ranch. And Lace calls me up. And he's Jerry they're at the Super Bowl. And Jerry and Lace and all them are having a good old time. And Lace calls me up 2 days in and goes, man, pick me up at the airport at 5:30 today. And I said, why? And he goes, I thought you were at the Super Bowl. He goes, I got to get out of here. I gotta get. We're having. I can't do this. I can't do this. And I'm like, well, don't you get? He goes, no. I told him I was going to the restroom, and I just got up and got my bag.
What's wrong?
He just did too much.
Too much after a while.
Too much fun. They were going. They were going.
After a while, it's just kind of like.
It was
do this anymore. My body's gonna die.
That's what Lace did. Lace jumped on the phone. He's like, "Man, you got to pick me up at the airport."
What's that on that table?
I
got you.
Yeah, but no, that's the Jerry and Steven. Yeah, that's they're actually a really fun group to hang out with. I've been a part of some dinners and stuff. They've been really a lot of fun.
All right, here's another one. Would you rather hear a full unedited version of what Jerry says after a loss? Or a full unedited version of what an opponent team's head coach has to say about Dallas after they beat them?
They're probably saying the same thing Cowboy fans say. So I would. There is a part of me that if PR wasn't around, what would this stuff sound like for real? Like, what does Jerry really think? I gave Shotty credit earlier for, this thing not going off the rails in the way of nobody's pointing fingers at the defense. But I would love to just, if PR wasn't around, Shotty, what's going on? He goes, man, it's number one offense. And he, you know what I mean? I would just love to know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would love Jerry, unfiltered without PR.
I've heard Jerry after games, so I know. What that sound like. I know what that one sounds like.
What do you say?
Oh no, he oh man, we is duck and cover. It really was. It was some duck and cover meetings. But yeah, I'm always interested in what the other team's head coach is. It's funny. I have a relationship with Sean Payton, and I didn't circle back with him. I'll catch him down the road somewhere and like, hey, what did you really think about playing the Cowboys, and how did you feel like you needed to attack them? That version I think will be good probably after the season.
And that's the part I kind of want to hear what I think I know from working here. I kind of know what Jerry's going to say.
It's not pleasant
after those in a private setting. I don't know. Like Sean, I would love to know if Sean left that game being like, man, yeah, you can stop this offense by doing blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
man, you can stop this defense. You can do blah blah. I would love to hear from an opposing coach an unedited version of what they think of the players because it will give you a good insight as to where your holes are.
I guarantee you. Jerry probably talked to Sean afterwards. I mean, maybe because you don't play the Broncos that often, and maybe Jerry did pick up the phone or Steven picked up the phone and like, hey, when you attacked us, what were you thinking? Well, this is what we went into the game. We knew you were really compromised in the secondary. We knew we can handle your pass rush. When we ran the ball, we thought about this. That's the thing that Jerry or Steven can get. If you don't play somebody a lot, you can get that kind of information from a coach. And I think Sean would absolutely give it, or even Shoddy could call him up and say, hey, man, really, when you broke us down, what were you thinking? Well, this is what we thought that you guys were going to struggle at.
Well, see, that's where we're missing out because Mike is not here anymore, and he's friends with people that just whooped us the day before. So when he had his pod on and Jordan Love came on, and he was like, yeah, man, we ran right at y'all. We decided we was going to come up there and run the ball and whoop you, and that wasn't nothing. Y'all got linebackers.
And the funny part is he's talking to the guy that we're running right at.
He's like, yeah, right. We're going to run right at Mike and y'all 205-pound linebackers, what we're going to do.
Yeah. All right, here's the next one. Would you rather win a Super Bowl knowing you'd not even make the playoffs for the next 10 years, or make it to the Super Bowl for 5 years straight and have to face the 93 Cowboys each time?
Do we have an opportunity to win one?
If you can beat the 93 Cowboys, great.
I'd rather win the Super and not go back to the Super Bowl for 10 years.
Yeah, not even getting the playoffs for 10 years.
Not the playoffs?
You're not even competitive for 10 years.
That sucks, but
yeah.
I take that Super Bowl, man. I take that Super Bowl, be obnoxious, go to jail, and make all that content money, and just live it up, and just reset and go through this same process all over again. I'll do it. Playoffs ain't fun. Cowboy fans don't care nothing about playoffs because Dak goes to the playoffs and people act like he ain't never been there. But when you win a Super Bowl, you are immortal.
I disagree with you on that. I think. Well, here's why. Because I do agree with you that at the end of the day, fans are at a point where they do still, they're like, man, what's going to happen in the playoffs? What's going to happen in the playoffs? But there is something about getting to the playoffs in our business. When you talk about interest, and trust me, I've been through seasons like last year where by Thanksgiving, you're like, I don't really know. I don't think we're going to even be in the playoffs. And it changes how people interact with the content. It changes how people want to interact with the team. It changes everything. So I like the fact that we pretty much stay in the conversation, stay in the mix every year, and really are right there up until playoffs, and then whatever happens in the playoffs happens.
Do y'all think Bills fans positively reflect on going to the Super Bowl 4 times in a row and not win?
Nope, I don't.
I kind of think
that's why I asked this question.
Yeah.
Because you could be the Buffalo Bills, and I think that to me is probably, I won't say more, but at least as frustrating as maybe what Cowboys fans are experiencing right now. Because you're right there at the cusp. Like, you're right there for 4 years.
But you're telling me I have a chance to win it, right?
You have a chance to win it. Yes, you have a chance to win it.
Give me the 5 straight.
All right.
Give me the 5 straight.
I think most teams win one Super Bowl anyway, and they may be playoff teams here or there.
Yeah.
Like Saints were a one Super Bowl team. Mike McCarthy got one Super Bowl win, and that's just kind of what your legacy is. But for the rest of the way, you are a Super Bowl win. Right. If Jalen Hurts never win another one, Jalen Hurts is a Super Bowl winner. As much as that made me sick, I'll take that one Super Bowl.
Does anybody remember that about Flacco?
About Flacco? I love bringing
Do people remember
Flacco.
that? Yeah.
I love bringing up Flacco, Nick Foles, Trent Dilfer.
Yeah.
Brad, I love all those guys because it matters.
Yeah,
we know Trent Dilfer's name because he won a Super Bowl. Yeah. It was on defense, but he won a Super Bowl. That could be a Hall of Famer right now. With
Absolutely,
he got the numbers already. Absolutely. The public stuff. He ain't in no scandals. He win one Super Bowl. He's a Hall of Famer automatically by just one.
Yep,
that's where your business come in.
I agree.
Yeah, I have a friend that is a scout currently in the league, and he was with the Atlanta Falcons when they had that 28-3 lead.
That hurt.
And he realized when that game was over, he realized he would never likely have another chance.
Nobody cares that Matt Ryan went to win.
Yeah. That's the thing about it. You winning that one means a lot, but you just never know. Give me the opportunity where I have every year to at least try. Yep. Give me the opportunity if I can maybe I get lucky in a game like New England did against Seattle where they don't hand the ball off.
Yeah.
Do you think
you never know?
Y'all was outside when this happened. Do y'all think that it hurt Peyton Manning's legacy to be in so many big games, but he didn't win those Super Bowls till late, right? So until he did actually win with the Colts. Do you think that it hurt his legacy to be a great quarterback, great offense, great team, but not winning a Super Bowl?
Not because he won. I mean, because he won one.
Sure,
it doesn't matter. Like, that's my point. Like, once you win one,
yeah,
whatever else, then it's going to be about what were your numbers like? how did you lead your team? All those other things become much more relevant.
Sure.
But if you never win one, now it's be like, well, he never even won a Super Bowl. Yeah. So it's like, it's almost
Dan
like you have
Marino.
to win that. Yeah, you have to win that one.
He was in
validate
one.
everything else.
Yeah.
And that tells you how great Dan Marino was, right?
Yeah.
The fact that even without winning a Super Bowl, he is considered by most people who would make an evaluation a top 5 historical quarterback in the NFL. That tells you how great he really was. But like, it's without that Super Bowl, it's just like it's hard to get the recognition as one of the greats at quarterback unless you have a Super Bowl.
Shouts out to Will Still. He just hit me, said, "Give me that ring. I don't care about nothing." So yeah.
Look, I'm sure everybody in the chat right now.
Everybody in the chat saying
Super Bowl.
Well, you know, but like I said, I mean, been fortunate enough to be on a team to get one. And then that happened in 1996, and then I worked another 10 years and never.
You know how much clout you get as Super Bowl winning scout Bryan Broaddus?
They always say that. They
you get
always
to work
say
the
that.
rest of your life as Super Bowl winning.
I'll say
Bryan
this.
Broaddus.
I'll say this. I've gotten, and this is going to sound crazy, and if I didn't mean to say crazy, but
Sure.
I get more clout if worked at DallasCowboys.com than winning a Super Bowl.
What?
But you're Super Bowl. No.
No. I
Bryan,
have. I have.
You're a Super Bowl winning scout, Bryan Broaddus on Dallas Cowboys. Those two work together.
They do.
But
nobody would care if you were 4 Super Bowl attempt scout, Bryan Broaddus. But you Super Bowl, and you get to wear that mug.
But see, but I'm saying,
and hold out his fist.
I think people know me more in this world as a media guy because of my work with DallasCowboys.com.
If I'm Super Bowl winning content creator Voch Lombardi, I'm going up. We making all the monies. Because now I get to fight and like interact with it. Oh yeah.
People will still fight. No. People will still fight with you.
Oh yeah.
Even if you're Super Bowl winning champ, people like, you're a failed scout.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is the argument.
That's how it goes. Yeah.
That's the argument that somebody will say to me, like, oh, well, why aren't you running a team now? Why are you in the media? You know why? And
because you cussed out Bill Parcells, like that ain't got nothing to do with you with the Super Bowl.
And every time I just get the mental image of Bill kind of standing there in a towel.
Bryan ain't no scrub, man. Bryan cussing all these people out. He gonna cuss you out.
I'll tell you one thing. If I have to give some advice to you, if you're young out there and starting in the business, keep your damn mouth shut. Seriously, keep your mouth shut.
All right, we got to take our final break. We'll come back. You know, we'll see what we do next. We got a few minutes.
I got
We'll be back. DallasCowboys.com radio.
Hey.
I'm home. Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you...
Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow.
Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
If you can't be at the stadium, there's no better way to watch your Cowboys than on an LG OLED Evo TV. That's because everything you see is more lifelike. Every play, every hit. I mean, you might as well be on the sidelines. That's how clear it is. It's all thanks to LG's legendary technology. Perfect black, over 8.3 million self-lit pixels. No one comes close. LG OLED Evo is the best TV in the game for a reason. See for yourself at lg.com/OLED Evo.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
How's it going? You see that Cowboys game?
Oh, I watched. Been seeing some good things.
Totally. They have some talent.
Yup, some great talent.
And they got some fight.
Hoping this is the year.
Me too. Oh, I'm Cody, by the way.
I'm Travis.
Nice to meet you, Travis. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys!
Make a new friend based solely on their shirt choice. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation.
From the field to the festivities, Lucchese embodies the essence of luxury and tradition. Handcrafted with meticulous precision, each pair offers unmatched comfort and style. Stand tall while you're tailgating or cheering in the stands with the Dallas Cowboys collection by Lucchese. Shop the collection today at the Lucchese store at the Star in Frisco or online at lucchese.com. Lucchese, the official boot of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
back to the break.
AT&T, connecting changes everything.
Welcome back. We are in the final segment of the break. We are live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the start of the segment, brought to you by blockchain.com. All right, we got about 3 minutes left, so here's what we're going to do.
I'll give you a question.
All right, give us one question.
Okay. When you look at this, when you look at the Arizona Cardinals offensively, would this worry you? That since they've lost Connor and Benson, their two running backs, this team has got in, they've gone to these jumbo packages now where they've played 6 or more offensive linemen, like 22% of their snaps. They play a lot of heavy personnel with 3 tight ends, 1 back. That's 13 personnel. They've done this all since weeks 5 through 7, and they've averaged about 6 yards a play doing this. Do you have a concern that they're going to get in heavy personnel and try and beat you up in this game?
Brian, this run defense is so terrible. You can't even talk about matchups because the whole thing as a whole is terrible. You know, it's not like we're better in one department than we are some other. I think the operation as a whole is bad. So whether they're in jumbo, whether they're in empty, 10 personnel, whatever, trip stack, whatever you want to do with a wing, I just think there needs to be better play around the board. It don't matter what they're doing.
And my belief is when you're talking about specifically the run game for Arizona, what I'm most concerned about is Kyler Murray. Yeah. Let's be honest. I am most concerned about Kyler Murray. I think this is a game where I don't have any reason to believe that Dallas is better necessarily at being able to stop a running quarterback, and you're getting a running quarterback that is a running quarterback who is souped up. Like he is the souped up version of running quarterbacks. He is a guy that runs a legit 4.3 and is hard to find. He's little, so he's hard to find, and before you know it, he is by you. I'm worried more about that than any other part of this offense. And yes, Dallas has given up a lot of yards through the air. They've given up a lot of yards on the ground, traditional running backs. This week, I'm way more concerned about what Kyler Murray does to you with his legs.
All right, how about this one, Voch? The Cowboys' quarterback rating against them is 83.9. That's a passer rating for non-motion teams. But when teams play motion against them, the quarterback rating is 134.7. Arizona has the 10th lowest motion rate in the league. You think Arizona's going to try and motion you, or are they going to be who they are?
I think they don't have a choice. Like, they can't change everything up right now. I think they're going to be who they are. And just one more note to that, watching the film, Brian, they do run motion, but they run it like Mike McCarthy ran the motion. Like, they didn't run the motion to misdirect you or to play with your eyes or to get answers to questions. They'll just be moving somebody from one spot to another. That's not really the motion that disadvantages the Cowboys defense. The motion that disadvantages us is when you motion somebody, and I could give it to the wide receiver, I could give it to the running back. I'm lying. It's all play action. I'm throwing right over top of you. That's the motion that whoops us. I don't think that the Cardinals will be changing up very much, last minute like that.
Yeah, I don't expect them to do a lot of things different than what they've done before. Quite frankly, I don't know if they need to. I don't know if many teams have found that they needed to do a lot of things differently. I think it's just they'll probably, again, just take advantage of the mismatches they can create with the running ability of their quarterback. All right, let's get to some predictions here. I want you guys to tell me what you think is going to happen this Monday. It's going to be a Monday night game. We will not be on the air Monday, but we'll be back on Tuesday. But on Monday night, what do you think happens to start you, Voch?
Man, we're going to beat the hell out of the Cardinals. I mean, they're going to put some points. I'm a homer. I mean, they're going to put some points up, though. They're going to put up a lot of – it's going to be close. This will be a good time for a Brandon Arby field goal again. Nothing to do with how good the Cardinals are, just how bad we are on defense. I'm thinking 35-32.
Yeah, this is one of those games where all of a sudden Dallas has to get back on that horse offensively. They've done a great job at home here scoring points, and let's see if the magic continues. Arizona, a little bit of a different challenge to you because of the things. They don't let you run the ball, and they don't let you throw the ball deep. Dallas is going to have to find some ways to manufacture those things. But at home, I always like their chances much more now than on the road. Give me Dallas 28 and the Arizona Cardinals 26. I think you're going to have to worry about some of those runs that Derek's talking about from Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I think Dallas restores what they were able to do in a lot of the games that they've played at home with their running game. I know this is not a defense that necessarily gives up a lot on the ground, but I do think Dallas will reestablish itself with Cooper Beebe back. I think this running game gets going. I do think that they're able to pick up big chunks of yards. It may not be traditionally like you would go downfield 40 yards on a pass. I do think it will be on some crossing routes where you find an open window, guy gets the ball on the run, and he's off to the races. I think those are the kind of plays I expect to see this week. I do expect this to be another 40-point outing for the Cowboys because that's what they do at home. It just seems like that's what they do at home. And I do think it's going to be a tough day trying to corral Kyler Murray, but I think Dallas will have a little bit more, and I think they win 40-38. All right. Appreciate you guys joining us. We'll be back on Tuesday. We'll let you know what went right and wrong for the Cowboys. And then we'll have a little bit of a bye week. We'll have some fun here next week. Till then, for Voch, Lombardi, Bryan, Broaddus, I'm Derek Eagleton. This has been The Break live on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!